Good morning. Happy Christmas Eve. I get to sit here in the mountains with my family celebrating the holiday. It's a beautiful day out, crisp winter morning. And I wanted to just bring you a couple of thoughts that I've been reflecting on concerning the very first Christmas Eve. Seems to me the day before the first Christmas was a normal day. It was just like any other. People awoke and began their chores. There were fish to catch. There were fields to tend. There were stores to open, shops to prepare. Oh, sure, in Israel at this time, it may have been a little bit busier than usual, what with the census going on and all, new travelers, but merchants saw that as more of an opportunity for business. Of course, everyone else may have been a little inconvenienced by the crowded roadways and the busier traffic. It really made it a lot harder for people to complete their chores. But such was a part of life in ancient Palestine. So, people went about their day not thinking twice about what kind of day it was. The herdsmen took their flocks out to pasture to help find them food. An old prophet and prophetess sat at the temple in Jerusalem, each praying as a part of their daily routine, one that they had duplicated for so long they had lost count. They pray that they might catch a glimpse of the power of God to rescue their people from persecution. But they don't mark this day as something different or special from any other. It's simply one more opportunity to petition the Almighty. There were common complaints about politics. Some complained that the government was interfering in their lives, that they taxed too much. Others thought that you shouldn't upset the status quo, that life was going pretty well. Those that thought to overthrow the power structures were deemed zealots, but even they saw today as another day in their quest for autonomy, claiming that God was on their side. King Herod, of course, was sitting fat on his throne, probably feeling fairly content. His partnership with Rome had brought him considerable power and success. He felt he had the power to vanquish any threat to his rule. And his building projects, of course, had made him famous. This day, he felt no particular worry that his title as king was under any threat at all. Everyone across the world didn't note this day as anything more than another day. They didn't have the luxury of history that we have today. They didn't know that tomorrow would bring the birth of one child and the beginning of the end of their world. They didn't realize that one infant arriving in a small backwoods town would be an event so enormous that all of mankind would reckon time by it. Those shepherds didn't know that tomorrow heaven would be so filled with joy that they would see it burst at the seams and hear glorious praise spill out across the earth. Herod didn't know that he would soon be dead. And in less than a century, his glorious temple project would be wiped clean from the mount, along with the Jewish rituals that it supported. The prophet Simeon and the prophetess Anna didn't know that they would have their prayers answered in just a few days, and that they would cradle in their arms the Messiah of the Lord. Even Caesar Augustus didn't know that this child would turn Rome inside out. That first Christmas Eve was remarkable because it was utterly unremarkable. Now today we will remember his coming, and tomorrow we will celebrate, perhaps with friends and family, perhaps isolated because of the coronavirus. But come January 30th, or March 22nd, or September 17th, we'll be back to experiencing ordinary days. I pray that as we think about the birth of the Savior of the world, we would reflect on God's promise and his deliverance, not only on December 24th, but on those ordinary days too. Be like that old prophet or prophetess. Make worship an expectation that God is working, part of your daily routine. Because you never know, God may make tomorrow earth-shattering. From all of us here at Come Reason, have a Merry Christmas.